Welcome to Next Level Home Experts with Boss Services. This is the show that helps you take your home to the next level. Your complete source for all your home questions, featuring in-depth interviews with the best home services experts in the industry. And now, your hosts, Boss Services owners and authors, Jeff and Jerry Street.
All right, welcome to Next Level Home Experts. Today is all about lawn care with a little add-in surprise at the end of a fitness trail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't see that coming.
Yeah. You thought you were just going to learn about lawn care and what you can do, and bam, added in fitness trails and the fun of that.
Yeah. So who's with us today? Mike Petlick.
Mike Petlick from Evergreen Lawn Care is here.
Evergreen. Yeah.
In the Woods Fitness Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yep. All right. We have Mr. Mike Petlick with us today from Evergreen Lawn Care and Landscaping. So, Mike, tell us what you do, your service area, and all that good stuff. Just a general overview of what kind of services you guys do.
Sure. So, my name is Mike Petlick, born and raised right here in St. Joe, Michigan. I bought the business from my dad in 2008. And I believe he started in roughly 1992. So we've been in business just over 30 years here in the area. Definitely family oriented, small business. My sister, brother, son, dad all still work. Plenty of cousins, friends, kids of friends now that we're all getting a little older. But tons of friends and family for the last 3 decades. And we are a full lawn and landscape maintenance company, which means we do a lot of mowing, fertilizing, and then a lot of mulch, rock plantings, cleanup, removals, pretty much everything you need around the yard. And then we also run over 20 plow trucks every winter.
Mm-hmm. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for those of you that don't like to cut your grass, it is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So second generation. So you worked for your dad?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. I went down to school to Auburn, Alabama, and then I became a golf pro down there. When I moved back, Dad had the landscape company up and running, so just kind of jumped in the business with him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, golfing and landscaping, that's kind of goes hand in hand.
It worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Easy transition.
Yeah, right. So you develop everybody's yard into a putting green. Is that what you do?
That's what they want.
That's what they want. Right. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. I don't know. You cut my grass for a couple of years when I was gone before I moved back here, and I was not looking for a putting green. I was just looking for the grass to get knocked down.
Shorter grass.
But I see you down the road at my neighbor's house every year, and his yard does look like a putting green. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, so going into spring here, the snow is gone. I don't know that we had any snow, but the snow is gone. So what are any tips or anything coming into spring? Like, what do you guys normally do? What should people be doing? What's that look like?
So usually, especially as mild as the winters have been, our fall cleanups pretty much get a lot of the job done. So there's not a whole lot of spring cleanups in the year, this time of year. The biggest thing I try to tell everybody is, your lawns need 3 things. They need food, water, sunlight. So that could be trimming trees. It could be irrigation, definitely a fertilizer program, things like that, that control weeds, pests, everything. So there's a lot of things that go into building a lawn, and obviously here in the Midwest, we're kind of limited by the weather and sunlight and cold and heat, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So my yard's super sandy, so I have a hard time growing grass. Like, what do you guys do stuff for that? Or is there special things that you need to do, or?
Yeah. I mean, depending on your soil, if it's sandy, then obviously you're going to have to feed it more, water it more, because it's not going to hold any of the water. But everything's how much time you want to spend and how much you really want. A lot of people say, I want my yard to look like a golf course. And I try to explain to them, these are multi-million-dollar golf courses for a reason.
Right.
On that. They have a crew of 20 people working 40 hours a week,
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot easier if you have the time to put into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about soil conditions here in Michigan. What do you run into? Is one better than another?
Man, it is everything. I mean, depending on which block you're on, if it's clay, it holds water. So your grass doesn't, the roots don't get quite as deep. Like he said, if it's sandy, it's hard to retain water. It's almost new construction is probably the best thing because we can use
You're bringing in
topsoil and, have the best conditions. You're kind of stuck with what you got in most places. And, they make grasses come a long way. Sod companies have come a long way so they can grow in almost any conditions. A lot of things have changed in the 30 years.
Grass has come a long way.
It has. Technology is amazing.
I need more information on grass has come a long way.
It's just the way they have, the way they grow it, the hybrids they make now. Really? There's actually new sods. There's a fescue sod out that you can grow that's more drought tolerant. Huh. So, fertilizers come a long way. Obviously, irrigation's come a long way. So everything's out there to help you. But, everything costs money.
Yeah.
That's the hardest problem.
I noticed that.
What they did was they took the poop and they made the poop better.
Yeah.
It is good poop.
So
that's what I heard.
That's
good poop.
Yeah.
It used to be bad poop.
Yeah. Now it's good.
And now it's mixed with good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the professors at MSU love when we really break it down like that.
Just simplify it.
Right.
There's your degree. Right
exactly
there.
right.
Yeah.
There was class for the week.
Oh man. So do you ever do like a whole makeover then? Is that a thing? If someone has a lawn that they want to get back, is just resodding the thing a thing, or do you kind of bring it back slowly? Or
man, it's really hard. So I tell people if 50% of their lawn is good, meaning if you look at your lawn and half of it is good grass, then I keep it. We can work with that. But if it's all weeds, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Kill it, cut it up, bring some topsoil in, resod it, and start over.
Right.
Just you're fighting too many things here in the Midwest. We have southern grass, we have northern grass, we have weeds from everywhere. We're like the melting pot of everything good and bad. Bugs, moles. I think moles are the capital of Michigan. I think that's our state animal.
That's a never-ending battle.
It is. Especially this year because the ground didn't freeze.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
I went running on the golf course and it's moles. Yeah. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so do you help with that?
Oh, yeah. The problem is everybody thinks there's just a cure for getting rid of moles and everything. And the problem is, we can kill some of their food, but they eat everything. They eat worms, ants, bugs. They eat everything. And if you get them out of one spot, they're going to another spot. When you quit with that spot, they're coming back. And you can chase them to your neighbors, chase them to their neighbors, and then I do the guy at the end, make sure that he calls us because he's out of room. They can't cross the street, so
it's tough.
Don't live on the end of the block.
Yeah.
So I have a note here that says, what is that? Aeration?
Oh,
is that a thing?
It is.
Okay. What's the benefit of that? Why would we do that?
Aerating is one of the most beneficial things I think you can do. Which is why golf courses do it. They do it in the fall here, and they do it twice a year down south. Basically what it is you're taking core plugs out of the ground, which promotes air circulation, which lets air get through your turf, things like that, loosens up the soil. A lot of the soil around here is real compacted. If you think about it, if you're just driving on it, walking on it, things like that, everything gets compacted. So that helps loosen it up, things like that. We recommend doing that in the fall because early spring, there's millions of weed seeds floating around in your yard. So if you're pulling those plugs up and throwing them around your yard, you're just adding weeds on top of weeds. So we try to do that in the fall around September.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, when they think about like a lawn care company, they really do just think about the grass cutting portion of it.
Sure.
So do you guys do like full on landscaping and like a whole yard redesign type of thing? Or
so we don't do a lot of hardscapes. It's really hard to do both. We probably have 500 mowing customers, which keeps us busy, plus fertilizing on top of that, plus maintenance and weeding. And it's just, you kind of have to pick your lane. And that's how Dad started the business. And that's my specialty. So we just kind of stuck with that. And
so more of a maintenance and type of thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so I imagine you have people you recommend if they wanted to build something.
Absolutely. I'm lucky enough to have a cousin that owns a landscape business that does all my hardscapes. So together he puts them in, I take care of them.
There you go.
So awesome.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We have both sides of our business also, the install and the service is two different animals.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have the same person doing both.
No.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, so I've got weeding and stuff in here, but I mean that's maintenance, right? Like you're taking care of that all year long, or when you're out. I mean, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, do you run into situations where is there anything a homeowner can do to help you out, or is it mostly harmful?
Well, I tell everybody if they want to work in their lawn and that makes them happy, have at it. But I don't run into too many of those people.
Right.
Right.
And I tell everybody, I mean, time is the only thing you can't get back.
Yeah.
So why, I mean, if you only, what do we have, about 3-4 days of summer here in Michigan?
Yeah.
So who wants to spend those weeding their yard or sometimes even mowing the grass? I mean, the price of mowers is expensive now. Your time's expensive. So sometimes, I mean, it's just worth it to have somebody else take care of stuff. And that way, fertilizer prices have gone through the roof, where it's actually cheaper or the same price to have us do it properly and on the right timing by educated people that have gone to school for it than you as a homeowner.
Yeah.
And you still got to go buy the product, come back, walk around your yard all day, get angry, have the wheel break off.
Yeah.
So
it's like you've seen me.
Yeah. We're in and out in 15 minutes and probably saved you money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a huge, I mean, taking care of the yard is such a time commitment. And it takes me 3 hours to cut my grass. And that's just cutting it. That's not weed eating and actually trying to make it look nice. That's just cutting it so I can, walk out in it and the kids can play in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you'll lose a kid in the long grass.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I were raised mowing a lot. We come from some big places. We had 40 acres on Meadowbrook before we moved out to Dowagiac, and we had 17, and we mowed a lot of it. And so we had 2 mowers at all times, and him and I mowed after school almost every day on a rotation. I mean, it was just one of our
Something
chores.
Needs cut.
Something needs cut. Or if you're not cutting, you're taking the thing apart and doing all the maintenance on the mower, right?
Yes.
So like that we grew up doing that. And we've gone kind of 2 different ways. Now, I don't mow anymore, ever. I don't do anything in the yard.
Right.
I'm over it. I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't either.
But Jeff enjoys it, right?
I do.
So, like you said, if you have somebody that likes to be out in the yard and uses that as downtime, I think it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, it's either I really enjoy being out in the yard, or I really enjoy being on a tractor where my kids can't talk to me.
Yes. Throw the Cubs game on and go listen to music. Go and listen to the game for 3 hours.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Tractor's running.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think it makes a lot of sense though. It's helped me. My wife does it. She likes to do it. So, and if she ever stops liking to do it, we will hire it out.
Well, and the problem too is things, I mean, they're not, I don't know if they're not making things like it is, but when things break, you're not getting it back for a month because everybody's short on help and the fix-it places are all busy. And so
if I can't duct tape it back together, it's probably staying broke.
Amen. And then people call me and they realize that, maybe I don't like mowing my lawn as much as I used to.
Well, your mower's a little different than ours too.
Yeah.
They're
a little quicker.
Yeah.
They're comfy. They're as nice as your car now, and as expensive as a car too.
Yeah. Do you have any? I've seen some guys they're standing up like behind the mower. Do you have any of those styles?
We bought 4 of them last year. I never thought my guys would like to stand up because they like sitting down. It's comfy.
Sure.
And bought them, and they fell in love with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They look cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen those, Jeff?
Yeah, a little self-propelled.
It looked like they're on a little trailer and just kind of.
Yeah.
We used to go down to the big show down in Louisville, and I asked them, like, what is the selling point of these things?
Yeah, why would I
stand the whole time?
Yeah,
because they're the same price, and they're like, well, you can get more of them on a trailer. And I said, that's it. That's the only advantage.
Yeah.
So when I bought one, the guys are like, oh my God, I wish that's all we had. So.
Well, I mean, you could get more on a trailer. I would imagine they probably get into tighter spaces for some smaller yards.
They do. They're better on hills.
Yeah.
And it's not really, you'd think it was just standing a lot, but I mean, we're only at a lawn for 15, 20 minutes. So, and it's easier to pick up trash. I mean, if you see
you can jump on and off. Yeah.
If you go around town, you'll see people that you can tell they're on sitting down because there's trash everywhere because they're not bending over to pick them up.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are easy to hop on and off.
I think it's along the same lines as the stand-up desks. I mean, for the office people, some people are super happy just standing all day.
Yeah.
I'm not, but
Right.
some people like it.
Yeah. Well, and the stand-up mowers now have attachments. I mean, we have dump boxes on them. We have snow plows on them.
Wow.
We have a huge leaf blower on it. I mean, it's everything you can imagine on. So they're pretty high tech now.
So you going to his show is really buying more toys.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So we only go about every 3 or 4 years. It gets expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you talked about, you mentioned leaf blowing. That's something that you do in the fall. You clean up all the leaves. Yeah.
Tons and tons and tons.
Yeah. Like I just let mine just sit there, and I'm sure it's not good for my grass, but they just stay there all winter, and then I mow over them in the spring.
Yeah.
I thought that's how that's done.
Yeah.
It could be.
Could be.
It's just hard as long as our winters are to leave something laying on top of them that long. It's just, it's tough. But
yeah. And maybe that's why I don't have grass in part of my yard. I don't know.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
That and snowplow blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That peels it up real good.
It's in a heartbeat. Especially this year.
Yeah.
So what else do you do that we haven't talked about? Is that everything?
I don't know. It could be.
Did we get through the list? How do people get a hold of you?
So there's a few ways. My email, the easiest way to get a hold of us is email, because my sister runs my office and is really on top of everything. So we have an email we joint together, but it's mike@evergreenlawncare.us. Mm-hmm. And then phone number is 269-876-2483. And our physical address is 2422 Dewey Avenue, about a mile from Lake Michigan College.
Yeah.
So what's your service area? Like how far we travel?
We shrunk it in half this year, just to try to get better quality service. So we now are only St. Joe, Benton Harbor, Stevensville, Bridgman. Yeah, we were going all the way down to the state line and up as far as we could go, and you just. As soon as something breaks down on exit 1, my mechanic's running down the highway with parts and things like that. And it's almost impossible now with the limited work staff.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you also own something called The Woods, right?
Absolutely. So Evergreen is actually, so I live on Dewey Avenue and I have my Evergreen on Dewey Avenue. And right in between, we have a 40-acre outdoor fitness park. Filled with 3 miles of trails. We're now 70 to 80 obstacles, ramps, monkey bars, tunnels, cars to run up and over. We're now pet friendly on a leash. We are doing a national race once a year now, at least once a year. So June 3rd, we're having the Midwest Canine Obstacle Run. People right now we have 9 states signed up. People coming all the way from Louisiana, driving all the way up with their dogs to run the course and tread through some water, carry their dogs. Pretty cool event.
So this course, it's one continuous course, or it's different trails, or is it different difficulties? Like, what do you got going on there?
So we have it set up as basically a big 3-mile loop. And at each station, there are different weights. So, if there's slam balls, we have anywhere from 8 pounds for a kid to 50 pounds for an adult. Different heights monkey bars, anything you have to pull, there's different weights. I've literally worked out with a 1-year-old pulling a wheelbarrow tire while I pull a semi tire. I mean, it's that cool that you can, it's really become a family thing. I have a bunch of schools coming out this year for field trips. So they'll bring 60 kids out and we'll take them around the course for a couple hours. We're adding a kids zone this year right up front by the office, which will have a bounce house, games for the kids, some kids obstacles, bean bags, toss, Jenga, all kinds of cool stuff for kids. So grill up there, picnic tables, so they can come out and have a cool event. So pretty cool. And obviously owning Evergreen, it kind of ties in nicely because we take care of everything. We built everything. We maintain the course, get rid of the leaves, sticks, cut trees down.
Mosquitoes?
A spray for mosquitoes. We spray every month for mosquitoes. So 40 acres of mosquito spray.
Nice. Maybe I'll start camping down there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Who's this hobo out back? So when are you guys open? Is it seasonal or is it open all year?
It's open in the winter. I don't really promote it a lot just because, it's obviously wet.
Yeah.
We built that on a swamp land that was just a rundown garbage. We've taken so much trash out of there and really cleaned up the property. We're in the process of buying some more land back there to make it bigger. But yeah, we're open now till snow flies, sun up to sundown, 7 days a week.
You know, so I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, and every base that I've been on has had some type of, nature trail or obstacle course to run through. And it's not something that you would think that you would just enjoy, but they are a lot of fun, especially, you go out there and do it at your own pace and whatever you want and skip the stuff you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
And then something that I really thought I would never enjoy, it took me I was probably 6-7 years in the Marine Corps before somebody finally talked me into doing a mud run, because it just doesn't seem like running through muddy trails and diving into giant mud puddles will be fun. But like, I would probably go out to the woods on a rainy day and probably have fun.
It's an addiction.
You come out looking like a pig, and like it's just a
but
good
you
time.
did something.
Yeah.
And that's what, a lot of people are scared. They're like, well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Every obstacle you can go around.
Right.
And And the cool thing is, if you try something, you're like, oh, I guess I can do that. So you kind of get a little motivated, and it's fun. If you bring a group out, it's a blast because you help people, and we have some climbs and everything that people have gotten rid of their fear of heights. I actually have every single obstacle that you will find at a Spartan race, which is how I designed it in the beginning. So to get ready for a Spartan race, to see if you like Spartan racing, mud things, Savage race, I've built almost every obstacle that all those races have. So kind of get you prepared for those to see if you like that kind of stuff. But I've never seen anybody come out there and be like, oh yeah, this isn't for me. It's fun.
Garbage.
Yeah. All ages,
Yeah. What's the membership look like? What do you do out there?
So we're actually going to do, so it is $20 for adults, $10 for kids. I am going to do, we'll run a special. So if you want to get on the my Facebook page, it is for the Woods Fitness Park. We'll always show specials on there. And I am going to announce here probably today a March Madness that I was going to do $500 for the whole year. So that gets you basically 12 months a year. And I've cross-country skied out there in the winter, which apparently I'm not very good at. It's not downhill skiing.
But how would you know if you didn't go do it?
Correct.
Right?
And we only have one hill that's about 3 feet, and I fall down
and that
every
was
time.
too much.
Fall down every time.
Yeah.
And the dog just sits there like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's
You
not even a
fell
hill.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
cool.
awesome.
That's good stuff.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
A lot of good
Thanks,
stuff.
guys. Thanks for having me. Awesome to see what you guys are doing too, man. Good to. I know the day Jerry started this, so it's pretty cool to see how big you guys have. Because you were away and he started it, and
Yeah.
I think he put in my. I think I might have been the first customer.
You were.
Pretty close. Yeah.
You were number one.
Yeah.
Uno.
You're always number one.
Thank you. That's what I strive for. So now I'm done.
Yeah.
I finally figured it out.
From first to last.
Right.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to Next Level Home Experts with Boss Services. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned some useful home tips along the way. If you found this episode valuable, please do us a favor and share it with others. And of course, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And as always, if you have a home topic you'd like us to explore, email us at info@bosshvac.com. That's all for this episode. See you next time.